What is up, guys? Welcome on back to TK's Garage. And in today's video, I'm giving you guys what you guys are asking for. You guys were asking me for updates on HR4117, the Stop Carb Act, and whether or not the Diesel Truck Liberation Act is actually going to pass. And some of the stuff we're going to talk about today might shock you, because despite what the haters say, or despite what the lames like to claim, you know, the emissions meat riders, there's a very strong possibility that all three of these could end up passing. We're going to talk about how it's going to happen and more right after this. All right, y'all, the holiday season is coming up, and if you're like me, you're probably already thinking about what you're going to get for your family and friends. I wanted something that was actually useful, something they'll carry every single day. Something like this. This is one of the things that I carry every day, my Extra wallets. Now, this is the Extra Card Holder Pro, the world's best-selling smart wallet. It's made from 100% recycled aluminum, slim but tough. It blocks RFID, so all those people you could run into at the airport or somewhere else, no one's going to be able to skim your cards or your information. It holds up to 14 cards and cash, and it just feels premium. This one I actually got for my favorite person to kind of change their outlook on a bunch of stuff when it comes to carrying a ton of cards. One of the things I also like from Extra, if you're traveling this holiday season, is Extra's Travel Vacuum Kit. It's a travel pack vacuum kit. It's a solid pick. It keeps everything organized and saves space. And for my Android folks, they also have these new trackers, the Finder cards. It's rechargeable with a cable, so you can track your wallet anytime. I actually have one from the iOS edition they have as well in my Extra wallet. So if I carry, because I carry the Android and the iPhones, I'm able to see both. They're running their Black Friday sale right now. It's up to 50% off. Plus, if you use my code TK's Garage, it's TKS Garage, you'll get an extra 10% off at checkout. Hit the link in the description, or you can scan the QR code that's on screen. Trust me, they make awesome gifts that people actually want. And I got to give a major thanks to Extra for sponsoring this part of the video. And like I said, guys, I don't talk about products unless I actually use them. And you can see that this one is thoroughly used. And I'm sure my family's going to love these. So what is up, guys? Welcome on back to TK's Garage. It's been a minute, man. I've been doing a lot of traveling. We had to do some stuff with Dodge out in Tennessee. I've been out in Mississippi, Massachusetts, New York. We've been everywhere, and with good reason. But in today's video, one of the comments I get the most is, "Hey TK, when is HR4117 gonna see the light of day? We know that it went into committee. We haven't heard anything else about it." And we're going to talk about, one, why that is. We're also going to talk about the Diesel Truck Liberation Act and more. Let's start with HR4117. So, could it come out of committee? Yes. They are looking at bills, though, that are a priority. Even if it can pass the House, which we know HR4117 can pass the House, the Republicans have the votes there. The issue comes in when it gets to the Senate. Currently, in the Senate, if you're in the minority party, you can do what's called a filibuster. And unless you have 60 votes, they could just filibuster you into oblivion, and the bill never comes to a vote on the floor. It never gets completed, okay? Which then just ties up the works of government, and nothing ever happens, okay? Now, a while back, a senator from my state here in Nevada named Harry Reid changed how that works. And it had to do with judicial nominees, because back then, Republicans were trying to block some of these lower court judicial nominees, which today are biting the Republicans in the ass. So they probably had good reason to do what they were doing. But these judicial nominees were able to get pushed through because Harry Reid got rid of the filibuster and they've been changing it slowly for different things. Well, John Thune, or Senator Thune, who's the majority leader for the Republicans, is looking at completely, under the president's request, removing the filibuster. Now, what would that mean? It would mean that Republicans could pass any bill they want out of the House and out of the Senate between now and the midterms with no help from Democrats. All they would need is 50 votes and the vice president to say yes in the Senate, and the House pass whatever they pass, and they could pass any and all legislation they want because the filibuster would be gone. They call this the nuclear option. Now, I've had multiple people tell me it's never going to happen, TK. There's no way that they do it. But maybe you're wrong, because even the Democrats have said recently that if they were able to retake power, that's one of the first things that they were going to do. If they had all three branches of government, that they would get rid of the filibuster. And they've done it before. Remember? They've done this before. The reason why the Republicans are able to force through judicial nominees and stuff without Democrat help is because of what the Democrats did previously. So I think you should take them at their word. If they're saying they're going to do it anyway, nuclear option. Get rid of the filibuster. The filibuster is a construct that was built by the Senate. It isn't in the Constitution. It's a Senate procedural rule that was created over time. Screw that. Throw it out. Pass the bills that you want to pass now. You have about a year. And get it done. That's how you get HR4117 out of the House into the Senate. That's how you pass the Diesel Truck Liberation Act, which would eliminate all emissions, smog tests, emission systems, companies being required to maintain them and or put them on new trucks. All of that would be gone. Would go back to common sense, would have cheaper vehicles. Now, is it going to get back to what it was in the 80s or 70s? Are you going to get back to seeing $5,000 new car? No, not going to happen. But could we see a $75,000 truck fall to maybe $51,000? Yeah, we could definitely see that. We could see a basic everyday run-of-the-mill car, like say a Nissan Versa, that's what, 17.9 or 18.9, whatever their starting price is, fall back down to like 12.5, somewhere around there. We could see that happen with the passage of this different legislation. So, for you guys that are asking, yes, HR 4117 is in committee in the House. And with, government now being reopened, because for the last 40 days, we've literally just been sitting here and, people in the House and the Senate have been sitting there with thumbs in their asses for the last 40 days. So, it'll definitely be interesting. I can tell you this. Should the Senate should John Thune decide to completely get rid of the filibuster in the Senate, you can guarantee that bills like the Diesel Truck Liberation Act are going to pass. You can book it. It's going to happen. Now, the reason why I feel like that bill and HR 4117 have so much potential is really simple. The president just fully pardoned one, but is now looking at fully pardoning even other people who have been tied to deleting diesel vehicles for these just over judicial, abuse of power the government was using in terms of what they did to this gentleman. And the media trying to report like he was just doing it for individuals' pickup trucks, not for municipalities and for school buses and for fire trucks and for ambulances to make sure that they could get to calls and do what they needed to do, because those systems are so friggin' cumbersome and can fail for no reason at any time, to make the diesel vehicles more reliable. That's what people wanted diesel for in the first place. I could tell you for me personally, when I had BMWs when I was younger, I loved the diesel BMWs because mileage didn't matter like a gasoline vehicle. When I had my 3500 Duramax, right? Mileage didn't matter to me. I put 480,000 miles on that truck before I passed it on to somebody else. The only thing I ever replaced on that truck was an injector pump and parts on the front end, like, ball joints, tie rods, stuff like that. Nothing else. And people want to get back to having those trucks and cars that work and just get from point A to point B with great mileage. It's not hard. So are we going to see it happen? Yes. Could we see it happen faster if we get rid of the Senate's filibuster? Yeah, you could book it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section down below. Make sure to give the video a big thumbs up if you like what I do, and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Make sure to go check out the second channel, Auto Intel Daily. I'll tag it in the description. And please take a moment to go check out our articles and the website at goafterspeed.com. I'll also put that in the description. Major thanks to our sponsors, Exter, again. They're one of our regular month-to-month sponsors that look out for us. And like I said, I know I put it in the ads or whatever at the beginning of the video, but I actually use this thing every single day. It is my daily, everyday carry wallet, holds everything, and it is a pleasure to use. So major, again, shout out to our sponsors over at Exter. But anyways, until next time, thank you guys very much for watching. I truly appreciate it. And as always, stay petty, my friends.